Uvalde Area Chamber of Commerce presents Better Business Banter with Regina Aviles. Uvalde Radio, redefining radio in Uvalde, Texas.
Good morning, Uvalde. This is Regina here at Better Business Banter. And today, my special guest is the Honorable Judge William R. Mitchell.
Good morning, Regina. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Judge
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
Yes,
I'm so excited. This is the first podcast that you've ever been a part of?
I have never been on a podcast. I've heard about them. I probably have listened to one or two, but I've never been on one, no.
So just so you kind of have a little gist and anybody listening kind of has an idea of what we're doing, obviously, podcasts have kind of become a thing here in the recent years, but I have, with the help of Robert Miguel, of course, I have tried to create a platform for elected officials as yourself, business leaders in our community, business owners, and just general old folks who like to tell stories of Uvalde.
Oh, good.
Have a platform, something that I had mentioned in one that we had recorded before. What I've noticed is since I've come into this position, you don't always get to really show bits of your personality. And I think as an elected official, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to kind of be
ourselves.
Be yourselves and let the community know that you're approachable and that you're there for a reason.
And I think that's important because we all are approachable. We would not be in these positions if we did not want to hear from people and talk to people and visit with people about their needs, their wants, their desires, their community.
Yes, sir. So you and I were speaking, and I've actually, if the listeners don't know, I've been fortunate enough to, I guess, can I say I worked under your leadership in a sense?
No, you work for the county,
yes.
and I work for the county, so we both work for the county.
Yes, that we do. Well, did. So, as we said, the Honorable Judge William R. Mitchell is with us today. You and I were just speaking about how long you've been in office.
I have been in this particular office for 35 years. I was elected January the 1st, 1987 as county judge. I had served 4 years as a justice of the peace prior to that, and then I had served 8 years on the Uvalde City Council prior to that. So whatever that adds up to be, 47 years of elected service, but 35 years in this one particular office.
Would you have ever seen yourself going into public office when you were younger?
Going into public office, perhaps, because my grandfather on my mother's side, Ross Powers from Real County, he was a county official in Real County. My dad was on the school board here in Uvalde. So, yeah, I probably thought I'd maybe serve on city council a couple of terms, but never thought I'd be in office this long, no.
Yeah. What's your favorite part about being county judge?
People. Getting up and going to work.
It's different. Every day is a little different. I could only
Every day is different. And we have to learn how to appreciate those days.
Yeah, that you do. We know that you've been in office. You're the longest reigning. I will call you the longest reigning county judge.
I'm tied. I'm currently tied. There's another county judge in Live Oak County. His name is Judge Jim Huff. He and I both went into office the same day. I like to say that I'm his senior because we swear in our officers at 12:01 a.m. and I don't think he got sworn in until 10 a.m. So technically, I guess I'm ahead of him, right? But no, we both been serving for 35 years.
So I have to ask, how is it that you stay in? What keeps you so inspired? I mean, because you've got to really love what you're doing to stay in it. I mean, as long as you have.
The reason I like to be where I am is because I like to be where I am, and that's Uvalde County. I cannot think of any place I'd rather be. I've grown up here. I've seen this town massage itself to what it is today. I like to say we've never had a boom, but we've never had a bust. So I think that speaks volumes for our community. I think that we have a good community that has some good leadership. And I like the fact that we have other local born and raised individuals in some of these offices, like Hector Gonzalez out the junior college. The president of junior college is a local. Came back, stayed home. Hal Harrell, the superintendent of school, from here. chose to stay here. I'm just so happy that people have chose to see that they see the beauty of this community, not only just the God-given beauty, but what we have also brought to it ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's been really nice. Really, and I can't just say it's just from being in this position, but it's been nice that I've been able to see so many people go away and start to come back to Uvalde.
Exactly.
So it's great. I think people are now starting to kind of this fly. If you live in Uvalde, I know that you know about these flies. We've got one that's flying around the office that is driving me insane. Anywho, back to what I was saying. I apologize. But we're starting to see so many people move back.
That's right. Doctors.
Oh, yeah.
Teachers. People that have a true interest in this community.
And they're starting, I've noticed, people are really starting to invest in Uvalde.
They are.
And I say that, I mean, I'm sure it was done before, but I feel like COVID is it's something that it's kind of prompted, I feel like. I've always kind of paid attention to things that were going on around me just because I'm from Uvalde, and coming from the county's perspective. I've always kind of have paid attention to things, but I'm seeing a little bit of an increase, and so it's exciting. I'm eager to see what this next coming
Good future.
Year.
Good future.
Yes. A lot of progressive personalities.
That's right.
I guess I would
say. That's right.
Coming back to you being in office as long as you have, what would you say is like a misconception? Like if people don't, something that people don't really, they think that this is kind of the view of a county judge. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about being the county judge entails?
The position of county judge is very unique because we have such a broad a gamut of responsibilities. We have a judicial responsibility, which means I sit on a bench. I hear cases, Class A's and Class B misdemeanors. I hear all the juvenile cases, probate cases. Those all come to me. And when you're sitting on the bench, you put on that black robe and you walk through that door from your chambers to the courtroom. You are the judge. You have to figure out, that's Regina. Although you may be sitting out there, I said, that's Regina. You can't, if you have to forget that's Regina. I am the judge, and I have to think only in this box. Remember, in a trial, the jury can only consider the evidence that's presented to them at the hearing. So if somebody knows something about the case from the outside, they're not supposed to consider it. Well, that's how a judge is all the time when they're sitting on the bench. And it's difficult because, being from here, I may know 75% of the defendants. And it's hard to administer justice and hope that they will understand that that's my job. Uh-huh. It's kind of like an official in a football game. He throws the flag regardless of what side it's on. You're going to make some of the crowd happy. You're going to make some of the crowd mad. So, yeah, it puts you in that position as on the bench in the judiciary. But as a county judge, I'm also technically what we call the CEO of the county, chief elected official, chief operating, what do you want to call it? Everything kind of runs through my office. I say that because I'm also the chairman. I'm the head of the Commissioner's Court. Commissioner's Court is the overseers of everything. We set policies and things like that. So although the county treasurer has a responsibility, the county sheriff has a responsibility, the county clerk has a responsibility, and they don't have to necessarily report to me. We do work closely together so that we do have, I think, some harmony among all of our elected officials so that we don't have a bunch of dissension. But as county judge, you're the representative of the county. Much like the mayor is the representative of the city, the county judge is the representative of the county. So you go to places like Austin and you meet with the governors or the senators or the state representatives, or you go to Washington and meet with the president or the Senate, and you're representing Uvalde, not as a judicial officer, but as judge, also as an administrative officer.
Throughout your time as county judge, I'm sure you're able to meet a lot. You meet a lot of people. Who would you say has been the person that you would have been most excited
to see or meet? and I've been in the White House and I've met with 3 different presidents.
Have you really?
Yes, ma'am.
That is so exciting.
And the position of president is top office in the land. So anytime you meet the president, it's an honor, a true honor, regardless of whether you support that president or not. He is still our president at that time. So meeting 3 presidents probably has been a big thrill, but. I don't really like to rank things like that because I think everybody's important. We've had people come to Uvalde to visit Uvalde for different reasons that I've been very blessed to know, and just the fact that everyone's important. Everyone's important. But and really, I say the 3 presidents, but I grew up across the street from a man right here in Uvalde that made a tremendous impression upon me, and that was Governor Briscoe. He was such a outstanding man, did so much for this community, would always take you under his wing and never tell you how to do something. But
kind of like you do to me.
Well,
sometimes.
no. Well, that's a compliment. Okay, but he'd always kind of say, "Well, okay, now, Bill, let's talk about this." And then at the end of the day, he said, "You do what you think's best." So he'd never told you, "I want you to do this." You expect that from somebody like a governor or for a president. Never did he do that. He always tried to let you make your own decision, and that's always stuck in my mind. And I was very fortunate to live right across the street from him here in Uvalde. So, a great honor. And I even knew John Nance Garner,
really,
Vice President Garner, before he passed away. I was young, but I knew him too, and I got to meet him, and I actually been in his house several times as a 10-year-old kid.
Did you understand at that age the impact that they had on the community?
No, I'm sure not, because at 10 years old, Vice President of the United States, okay, it's a big deal, but you don't absorb the enormity. Yeah, you can't grasp all that until later on. But certainly with Governor Briscoe, and of course I was in college whenever he started running for governor, and I was part of that his campaign. So,
oh, wow.
So the enormity of that kind of soaked in, but not the vice president. He was just he was the guy down the street, and that's kind of what he wanted to be. That's what he wanted to be. So.
Were your parents around to see you come in as county judge?
My mother passed away 20 days after I was sworn in as county judge.
So
she got to see me sworn in as county judge. My father, yes, he passed away 6 years later. So yeah.
Yeah. How would you say, this is a funny question, but how would you say that your parents would best explain your position if they were asked, what does your son do?
What does my son do? A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Sometimes nothing. Yeah.
They don't get it. Sometimes.
I'm their son.
Yeah.
It's just like you're whatever. You're always going to be your kid. You're always going to be the kids to your parents. So ask them, okay?
Yeah, that's funny. Somebody had asked my mom to describe kind of what I did for a living, and she let me know what her answer was. And I was like, "Good job, Mom. You're a little off, but you were close."
I will say that my parents would be proud.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How would you say? I would say, I tend to think you're a pretty progressive individual. I mean, if you were, you probably wouldn't be in office as long as you have. Do you find it at times like having to adjust with different times? How is it that you kind of keep yourself educated, would you say, and inspired to kind of continue in this? And
I think that's the key to it, Regina, is keeping yourself educated and keeping on top of things and not necessarily trying to do what you want to do, but what the community wants to do. Listen to the community. It's just like the Fairplex. We were told many, many, many times we had to build a new jail, but nobody wanted a jail in their backyard. Mm-hmm. we saw that there was a need for a new rodeo facility, but nobody wanted to tackle that. We saw that there were a need for a convention center. In addition to what the city already had, we felt like we could draw more in. So what we did after many attempts, we pieced it all together where everybody we got a jail, but it was in no one's backyard. We got a new rodeo arena, as you know, world class.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. And for those of you listening that don't know this, the Fairplex is one of the only covered enclosed arenas within a very far radius. I want to say I don't quote me on this, but
a long ways.
A very long ways. I want to say Gonzales and our. So they are covered. They are covered, but they are not enclosed. Right. They are not enclosed. Yeah. And shout out to
there are a few around, but they're few and far between. And that I think was kind of a good hit that we were able to piece that together. I think it was planned out well. We had a lot of people, and that's my point. We brought a lot of people in to help design it, to help say, well, I know what a rodeo is, but I don't know rodeo, but we have people that do. So call upon their expertise. So we were able to do that. And we just had that, it just came together. And then whenever the Ladies Auxiliary of the American Legion Post 479 came and said, can we put the memorial wall out here?
Worked out.
That, we didn't plan that.
Yeah.
They came to us. And that's the dot on the top of the I. You go out there, that sets it off. So, it just all worked out so well because people came together. They saw a need. They saw a vision. And it wasn't just my vision, it was your vision. It was Michael's vision, and it was every citizen's in this community's vision. And it came about because we wanted it.
Yeah. Obviously I'm going to be a little biased, but it's a really great arena, and shout out to Wendy Spear, who is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
She does a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. Wendy is the key to it right now.
Oh, yes.
You can have the greatest facility in the world, but if you don't have an operator.
Good direction?
Yeah.
No.
And she's it. Yeah. She and Tater.
She's pretty brave to take that dog into your office, I would say, but
no
one's stopping her. Oh yeah, no, her and Tater are great. I owe a lot to that woman, I must say.
Well, let me throw something out at you.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Okay. Part of the county is the Texas Hill Country River region.
Yes.
Okay, and we're very blessed that that's developed the way it has. That's part of the county. It's a function that we can, if nothing else, last year and this year alone has just shown us how important it is, the value that they play to this community. So.
Oh no, that Annabelle's does an absolutely amazing job, but I believe that they offer so much to our community, and there's so much traffic that is going out there. I mean, of course, you as county judge obviously really respect the impact that they have on all of us, but I think the way that Annabelle has been able to turn everything around, and I think it's absolutely amazing that the commissioners and yourself came together to hire a specific individual to help market that area. So for those of you who are listening, we're going to take a quick break, but this is Better Business Banter with Regina Aviles and the Honorable Judge William R. Mitchell.
Summer is winding down. Almost time to head back to school. Time to think about making the most of the summer vacation that's left and getting everyone ready for fall classes. This is Susan Rios, Main Street Manager, inviting you to join us on Friday, August 13th for our Foursquare Friday Back to School Party. Come shop for those first day of school must-haves while enjoying live music, good food, fun with friends, and so much more. Be sure to bring the kids to the plaza where they can make a splash on the giant slip and slide. Remember, Uvalde, life, art, and back to school are better downtown.
Baby, now here we go back to school. Here we go.
Attention, everyone!
Edwards Furniture's Summer of Cool Savings and Hot Fun sales event is back and bigger than ever.
Stop in for free snacks and register to win daily drawings for fun prizes, including
Ice chest coolers,
barbecue grills,
river and pool floats,
gift cards for food and ice cream,
jewelry,
river chairs,
sunglasses, and more.
Along with our cool low prices, you'll want to freshen your home zone now.
At Edwards Furniture, summer savings are bigger than Texas.
Stop in, cool off, and save today.
Voted Uvalde's Downtown Cornerstone Business of the Year.
See you soon.
The Uvalde Area Chamber of Commerce presents Better Business Banter with Regina Aviles. Uvalde Radio, redefining radio in Uvalde, Texas.
And we're back, Better Business Banter. Today we've got the Honorable Judge William R. Mitchell in the office with us.
Thank you, Regina. Nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here. I know you're a busy man.
No, my time is your time.
Yes.
I work for you.
That you do. I work for my members, so I know the feeling. I definitely know the feeling. So we've kind of for those of you who are just tuning in, like I said, we've got Judge Mitchell in here, and so we're kind of tapping on all aspects of being Uvalde's county judge. Is this what you expected? When you first came in, because you don't know until you really get in there.
No, Regina, there's no book of instructions. You fly by the seat of your pants. Maybe you shouldn't say that, but every day is a different day. Every person that walks through the door has a different issue. So no, there's no way to expect what this job should entail. It's a 24-hour day job. Mm-hmm. It truly is. My phone rings all hours of days and night. And forget about holidays. You don't have holidays. But that's what we signed up for.
It is.
We knew that coming into it. We've seen a lot of advancement in technology. I said the 24-hour day job, and we used to have to always be close to a phone. Well, now we carry our phones with us, so technology can make...
You really can't get away from it.
Yeah, but that makes it's bad and it's good and it's bad because while you are able to get out and do more, you can get out and do more because you had that phone in your pocket. And where before I'd always have to say, I'm going to go to this meeting. If you need me, call me at this number. Or I'd have to call back in every 30 minutes or every hour, every 2 hours to check and see if anything's going on. All that's made it so much easier. Like I said, I can get on an airplane right now and go to Washington and conduct business.
Still be reachable.
I can conduct court on my iPad. And I can be almost anywhere that we have technology. So it's good. It's really great. Your generation absorbs it. Mine learns it.
We were talking about something earlier. We had Miss Olga Charles in here. And Robert, what was it? Microfiche. I learned what microfiche was today. Never heard of. I had seen it obviously in movies every now and then, but now I know.
Regina, whenever the first computer came into the courthouse, it was about this. How big is this table? 4 by 8?
Yeah, I'd say so.
The first computer that came into the courthouse was at least this size. We had to borrow a truck from Central Power and Light, AEP, to hoist it to the second floor to get it through the balcony doors. And we got it in there, and the only thing it could do was run payroll. A computer this size. A computer that size.
The computer was this size?
Yes. And the only thing it could do was run payroll. Now, you can run payroll on this.
Yeah, in the cloud.
Yeah, right. So, technology, it's great.
It really is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's finding, how is it, let me ask you this question while we're on the topic. Balance. How is it that, you've definitely, this is, like you said, it's a 24-hour job. How is it that you find balance? Because you've got to have a little bit of it to stay sane.
Well,
but
you make
when does it come?
we make it sound like this is a all-inclusive job, and yes, the buck does stop here, so to speak. But like I said, we have great officials. We have great county treasurer, great tax assessor, district clerk, county clerk, sheriff, road department. We have people. We have associates that that take their jobs serious too.
As serious as you do.
Yeah. So if it weren't for having people that are associates that took it as serious, it could be pretty overwhelming. And if I get a call about a situation, and if I feel like I need to be involved in it, then I know to make that call to that department head and
delegate.
And not delegate. No, don't delegate. Recommend.
Okay.
Because again, remember, all these department heads, they're elected officials too. They don't work for this guy.
They work for the people.
They work for the people. They work for you. So if you call me and say, I've got a problem with such and such, can you help me? I'll say, okay, let me see if I can talk to the department head, and maybe you need to make that call to that department head yourself, but you don't know them. Mm-hmm. So, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But no, nobody works for anybody. We work with people.
What would you say is your greatest accomplishment as county judge? Because I don't know if people realize this, but anytime there's like projects that are going on, sometimes you have a little bit of a say. Obviously, the Fairplex, for example, what would you say is one of your greatest accomplishments in this career?
It has nothing to do with this career. It has
personal.
It's patriotic. I'm a veteran. And I think just the fact that when we do have events like a 4th of July event or a Memorial Day event, it's important to me that we as Americans still be Americans and that we carry that flag with pride. So it has nothing to do with being county judge. Perhaps being county judge, I can get some things done. I think that's what you're getting at.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I just, over the years, you'll make accomplishments, or if you've seen like a project fully through. But
I go back to the moving the wall, memorial wall.
The Veterans Wall.
Yeah, the Veterans Wall. That came to us for a reason, but it allowed us to build upon the fact that we are God-fearing Americans, that this is the United States of America. And if I can ask Lalo Diaz to help me put on a Memorial Day event, power to us. But I'll go back and answer that question. More pointedly. You ask what I thought was the most significant event. Okay.
Event in all of your years.
All right. I rethought that. Okay. In 2006, Uvalde County celebrated its sesquicentennial, 150 years of being here. We took on and there was a big committee that worked on everything. And our task was to have an event every month of the 12 months, an event every month geared around the sesquicentennial. We were able to invite the Vietnam Memorial Moving Wall, a replica of the Vietnam Wall in Washington. We were able to get it to come to Uvalde. And for 5 days in November, that wall was erected along the banks, or actually in the riverbed, along the canals in the river, the Leona River. That wall was there. And I'm assuming you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the memorial wall.
Yes.
Has all the names of the servicemen and women that were killed in Vietnam. this replica was put up in the riverbed, and every night we'd have an event honoring not only Uvalde County but Uvalde County, Medina County, Real County, Kinney County, because they too lost people during the Vietnam. But to have that there and to see 10,000 people come into our community that 5-day period just to visit that memorial wall. We brought those 50,000 plus comrades that have perished. We brought them home. We brought them to Uvalde. We allowed locals that lost loved ones in Vietnam, we allowed them to see their loved one's name on that wall. And yeah, that was probably the most significant thing that we've ever done, because it honored those that were past, but it honored this country. And I think that's probably the most single significant event.
That's amazing. You've done quite a bit, and
we've done
quite a bit. I've come to you quite a bit with problems. You help me kind of nap. You never tell me what to do, but I'm sorry if I'm a little bit of a nag sometimes when I'm trying to figure something out. But I appreciate, you always, you said this to me, your door is always open to
it's
our
open.
community.
Yeah,
I mean, you really do. You really are there for the people, and I really admire that about you.
We operate on an open door policy. Hallie does sit at the door, though.
She might be a little bit of a buffer sometimes.
And you have to respect the fact that we may have other things going on.
Oh, yeah.
And she will take care of you. We'll visit with you, but yeah, you still have to honor the fact that we have a schedule.
Yes, no, believe me, I know that feeling. But I do appreciate that. You kind of always, you take the time to really listen to people, and not a lot of people really tend to do that. Sometimes they'll kind of just blow people off a little bit, but you really are.
I'm here to listen. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. So you grew up in Edwards County.
No.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No. Where did you come?
Let's edit that a little bit.
Where does it say Edwards County?
It says by the time of the war, your dad moved from the Angora Ranch of Edwards County. Golly, I need to sleep a little bit.
You need some
I'm
glasses?
so sorry.
No, I've never lived anywhere but Uvalde County.
Really?
I was born at what is now 214 Martin Street. That was the hospital in 1948. I grew up on Mulberry Street.
Did you really?
Yeah.
The first home that my husband and I ever lived in together was on Mulberry Street.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What address?
340, if I'm not mistaken. The Willis's owned it. It was this cute little, it was like a little cottage looking home.
I lived in the 200 block. So
okay.
That was the best neighborhood in town.
Maybe it was 240. It might have been 240.
There had to be at least, it is 240.
Yeah.
It's kind of green.
Yes, it's got a green trim and it's got that darker wooden siding
There had to be 50, 60 kids from my age to from a 5 or 10 year range there. There had to be at least 50, 60 kids in that block.
Really?
In that neighborhood. Pecan, Mulberry, Muller, Minter.
I've always liked that area.
Yeah. I mean, that was a fine place to be.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Edwards County.
I'm sorry. I read that wrong.
Why shout your mouth?
I know you get to work like pretty early in the morning.
Sometimes.
And you and I have had these conversations, and you've mentioned to me, sometimes like you've got to get to work early. So not that people are of distraction whatsoever, but it's so nice to have those few hours in the morning to just kind of sit down, focus, and on the things that really require your full attention. And so I've started doing that recently. And
it allows me to get my mind straight.
Oh yeah, same. I've done it the past couple of days and it's been great, but I'm adjusting a little bit because I'm not that person in the relationship who gets up early. So I'm adjusting.
But it also allows you to go to sleep at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh, yes. No. It's almost like I was telling my husband last night, like, I have to get to sleep because I've got to be up by about 4:30. I'm pushing it. Yesterday it was about 4:30, but today it was a little closer to 5. But so I can set the amount of time that I need to sleep. But it's been great. But I'm adjusting to it a little bit. Do you have any questions for me? How long have you been a member of the chamber? Let me ask you that.
Well, my wife joined.
Yes, she did. Thank you to beautiful Miss Katie Mitchell.
And I think legally the county cannot join.
You know, what we do is we give you guys I think it's an honorary membership is what it is.
I don't think we can use taxpayer dollars for it.
Well,
no, the city can because they use utility money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm learning a little bit about that. How did you and Katie come into this Uvalde honey? I know that this is your wife's business, but I've got to touch on that.
Well, I went on a trip one day and came back and she had bought the company. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
No, she was a good friend of Wade Carpenter. And of course, Wade had resurrected the Uvalde honey label. And she just decided one day she wanted to buy it. So it was between Wade and Katie, and she just told me at the end of the day, I bought Uvalde honey.
That's awesome.
It was that simple.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm not that brave yet, so maybe one day. Well, is there anything else that you would like to mention? Do you have any questions for me?
No, Regina, I really appreciate this opportunity, the time, and I appreciate you doing these podcasts, and I appreciate what you do for the chamber.
Thank you.
And I appreciate the chamber. The chamber has an outstanding history here, and in the past I was on the board and all that stuff, and so the chamber is important. It has a role, and that role changes, just like all of our roles change. But so I'm very thankful for you and
Thank you.
And your organization and your officers. It's a tough job because you're never wrong, but you're never right. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, so anyway, I do appreciate y'all.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you being here today.
Yes, ma'am. My
we're
pleasure.
going to close out with our signature question. Because I do represent the business community, I have to ask you, what would you say what is your definition of success? What does success mean to you?
My definition of success is that whenever you're able to live your life in a godly way, and that you're able to, you hope that some kid, some mother says, you know, why can't we kind of be like this guy? And if you just get one compliment like that, man, that speaks volumes. So my definition of success is trying to, I'm successful if I can make you successful. And if I can make you successful by being a good person, then we both won.
That's amazing. Well, Judge Mitchell, as always, I appreciate your time, appreciate your knowledge, and I thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Anytime.
Good deal. Well, I guess that is it for Better Business Banter with the Honorable Judge William R. Mitchell. Would you like to anything else? Well, thank you again, and we will see you guys in a couple of weeks, or speak to you guys in a couple of weeks. Working out the kinks still a little bit, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Uvalde Area Chamber of Commerce presents Better Business Banter with Regina Aviles. Uvalde Radio, redefining radio in Uvalde, Texas.